Welcome everybody. I'll just give everyone a few seconds to get settled and then we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to our Boost Small Bite series, creating shareable content. Soon I'll throw it to Emily to get started with the webinar, but I'm just going to share my screen really quickly to go through a few things with you first. So I just wanted to quickly share our upcoming 2021 fall session. So there will be one more this month, creating graphics on Canva on the 28th. And then we'll have creating videos for social media marketing in October, creating content for the off season in November, and moving customers up your engagement ladder for December. So if you'd like to register for any of those, you can find them on our website. And also on our Facebook page. And I also wanted to share with you all of our email addresses and contact information. So if you have any questions about this boost session or any further boost sessions, you can reach out to me or Emily, who are present today, Josh from Northeast Iowa RC&D, and Mallory from Northeast Iowa RC&D. And then I just wanted to quickly thank our sponsors for collaborating with us on this project. And with that, I'll go ahead and let Emily share her screen so we can get started.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining today. If you have questions as I'm presenting, feel free to drop them in the chat, stop me as we're going, and then I'll definitely have time for questions at the end as well. All right, so today we're talking about creating shareable content on social media, why you should do it, and how to create content that people want to share. So the reason that we want to create shareable content is that getting your post shared on social media is the best way to gain more reach and followers right now. That's because if I see your post and I decide that I want to share it, odds are that my friends on social media have similar interests to me, and so they're going to see the post and they're going to relate to it too and be interested in following your brand. So it's a great way to, connect with your current audience, but also grow more like-minded people in your audience. The most general way that I think we can think about shareable content is that people share posts that make them think something like, oh, hey, I think this too, or thanks for teaching me this, now I know this, or wow, I love this. So it's something that makes someone have like a reaction that would make them want to share it with others. So first, let's go over the basics of just like how to check if you're making shareable content. So these are screenshots of your Facebook page insights, and you'll get these slides after the presentation and be able to rewatch it on YouTube if you need to know where these buttons are. But basically, if you go over to page insights on your page, you will see your most recent posts here. You can also hit see all posts and continue scrolling down the list to see past posts. But over here, you will see the engagement metrics on your post. So generally, you can see that posts that have higher engagement metrics also have higher reach. And these engagement metrics are your comments, your reactions, and your shares. So that's how that's how you can check the types of posts that you've created in the past that people have shared. So then, you can look at those posts for other ideas about how to create similar posts. So then if you click on one of those specific posts, so if you go back to this one and you say, oh, this one, seemed to have a lot of engagement, and you click on that hyperlink there, it will take you into the post details. And within the post details, you can see all the different engagement metrics that were on that post. So you can see how many people liked it, the comments, and you can see the shares. So this post, for example, got 4 shares. That's great. We can look to this post and think about, okay, why might people have shared this post and how can I duplicate that? So in general, there are a couple of different kinds of shareable posts. So one kind of post that is really commonly shared are like memes or funny posts. And in general, people will share if they find it funny, they'll laugh because they'll find your brand really relatable. So this was a student that was in the Boost program last semester, and they actually sell crickets. And so they posted this meme about bugs being delicious. It got lots of engagement reactions, and it got 12 shares. Because again, if we think back to the beginning, people were like, you know, oh my gosh, so relatable, or I've thought that before too, or I found this funny. So it made them want to share it with their friends. So then because of those 12 shares, that's going to make the reach on this post a lot wider and potentially bring in new followers or customers to this business. Another kind of highly shareable post is something that includes tips, something that teaches people how to do something. And again, we're thinking about ways to make it relevant to your business, of course. So Movin' Ridge Farms was one of my Boost students last semester, and they shared a recipe that used ingredients that they sell in their online shop. And this post got really high engagement. Lots of people were sharing the recipe, either saying that they tried it and they liked it, or that they, you know, they maybe try, like they might share it and say that they tried it with this ingredient or that ingredient. These are the types of things that like people react to and they want to share because they want to let people know that they tried it too, or these are their thoughts on that. So again, that's going to boost the reach on this post and bring more people to the business. Another kind of post, this is an example from Instagram. The two previous ones were on Facebook. The ideas kind of work the same, but on Instagram, if you've ever noticed those, they're called carousel posts, where you can swipe within the post and there's multiple slides. This is an example of a carousel post. And again, it's breaking down an educational topic that's relevant to the business. And it also tells a story about what your business does. So people will engage because they'll be swiping to engage with the additional content. And as part of it, they'll also be learning about what you do. A lot of people also shared this post because maybe it taught them something, they learned something new, and so they wanted to share it with their friends as well. And that made this post get high engagement. So if you're wondering how to make posts that are like meme posts that have text on them, or posts that are educational, like the recipe post, or graphics-based posts like that carousel post I showed, you can actually do all of that in a program called Canva. Canva is a free drag and drop graphic design program with lots of templates. So it makes it really easy to design your own educational and very shareable content. We have a Canva training on YouTube, and it sounds like we're going to be doing another graphics training upcoming soon. So you have more opportunity to learn about making content like that. A couple of more tips to think about in order to make your posts more shareable. So I really recommend focusing on what you are putting in your caption. So make sure that the first line of your caption, which is obviously the first thing that people are going to read when they do your post, or the title slide on an infographic post, make sure it has a strong hook. So something that makes them want to read more, like that recipe, you know, the title of the recipe might be something that intrigues you, that makes you want to read more. And so that's what keeps the person engaged. I also recommend ending your caption with a strong call to action. So a call to action is basically where you ask the reader to take some sort of action after reading the post. So for example, this could be asking them a question. You could say like, tell me what you thought about this, or did you know that? Or have you made a recipe like this before? Tell me in the comments below. So you're asking a question and telling them to take some sort of action that prompts them to respond or engage or even share your content. You can also say something like, share this post with your friends if you relate. So something that specifically asks them to share the post people are much more likely to take the action that you're desiring them to take if you specifically ask them to in the caption. And then my last tip is not to try to cram too much information into these posts. The best posts that are the most educational, shareable, quick bites posts are very simple. Think maybe like 3 to 5 steps if you're thinking something that's like instructions for how to do something, something that someone can consume quickly, and then might want to share that so others can see it and engage with it too. Again, with like the memes or the joke posts, you want to be able to like get the punchline of the joke really quickly so you can just like see it, have a chuckle at how funny or relatable it is, and then move on to the next thing. So don't feel like you have to take these too seriously or write multiple paragraphs on the captions of all of these posts. So those are my tips for making your content more shareable. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, or if you have examples from your business and you want to talk through how might you make a shareable post for this type of business, we can work through those examples with you. And if we don't have any questions, Julia has a poll that she'd like you to take before we go.
I'll give a few seconds to ask for folks to ask any questions. You can type them in the chat or unmute yourself if you like. And I'll also launch the poll. So if you take just a few seconds to answer those questions.
Is there an ideal number for carousel posts? Great question. So on Instagram carousels, you can do up to 9 slides, although I really like to focus on top 3. So I'll say like top 3 tips for something. So maybe you have a title slide that says top 3 tips, and then you have, 3 slides that follow that are your tips. So it's a total of 4 slides. If you don't need to, don't go up to the maximum of 9 slides. Again, I think thinking about like small bite size, that's the kind of content that is most shareable and quick to consume. And you can think about this in a lot of different ways. So like, for example, I used the example of like top 3. Maybe think about like questions that you're commonly asked. For example, like, I don't know, top 3 ways I like to prepare garden fresh kale. And then you share 3 examples for that. Again, like that relates to your business. If you're a farmer's market stand, it's going to make people find out more about your business, but also it's shareable because other people might read that and be like, oh, I hadn't thought of those different ways to prepare kale, or, oh, I always make this first recipe and I really like that. You might want to check out these other ones too. So think about some of those like questions you're asked frequently, or like things you keep hearing over and over again in your business, and think, is there a way that I can break this down into like a top 3 tips type of very short consumable content?
If there aren't any other questions, I just wanted to share my screen one more time before we wrap up. And just remind everybody that, that there's a few other upcoming sessions and what those dates are for those sessions. So if you're interested, you can find the sign up information on the Iowa Valley website, iowavalley.rc&d.org, or you can go to our Facebook page.
Julie, is that one coming up later in September? Is that on Canva?
It is on Canva, yes.
Yeah, that would be a great one for folks to check out if you haven't used Canva before. It's a really helpful free tool that's great for creating social media posts.
Well, thanks again for everyone joining us today. We really appreciate your attendance and the great questions that got asked. And thanks again, Emily.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.